True Draco. So I've heard a lot of arguments. Is the deck dead? Is the deck alive? Well, Traffic Cone Robbie is here to advise you in caution that unfortunately the deck is dead to some degree. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be showing up as a rogue choice that many players might be opting for at the regional. So we're going to have a nice little discussion about True Draco. And just because you count it out doesn't mean that it can't 2-0 the shit out of you in an event. Let's dig into this fantastic discussion, shall we? You know what they say, the shirt makes the Robbie. Should be the Robbie makes the shirt, but we're not cool enough to make our own clothes. True Draco. Just because you got a little bit more consistent off of the list doesn't mean that you're any better losing your win con. So what's up, guys? Elkin40 here. I've heard a lot of discussion about True Draco this past week. Is the deck dead? Is the deck still alive? I did a deck profile earlier in the week on the deck. I'm talking about how it was a choice that one of our players took to locals and still shit on people. Problem is, well, the deck still needs to go first, and this is kind of the problem that we're seeing with a lot of the current format. Just because you're consistent doesn't mean that you can break boards. The one thing that the deck had going for it was it had the ability to break those boards while maintaining some sort of immunity with Masterpiece. Now that Masterpiece is gone, yeah, we got a Dynamite back, but Dynamite only tried to fix the sin. So Dynamite was one of those cards that it's back. It helps fix the consistency issues of the deck to the degree. But the only thing that the deck is truly now is a tribute-based deck that has a little bit of disruption on the opponent's turn. And how far does that disruption get you at the end of the day? Well, I don't think it can get you far enough. A Majesty Maiden into a Dynamite off of another trap card into another tribute might be your most optimal play. Yeah, Card and Demise is still fantastically good, but you don't have the powerhouse. Now, I've heard a lot of people on top of Dynamite here are playing the Super X Metatron guy, and I don't think playing the Metatron that can gain the triple immunities is good. I think this card is actually shit. Having to tribute for all 3 immunities, you don't get the disruption power that Masterpiece gave you. The reason why the deck was good was because you could maintain 2 immunities. Robbie, I can have 3 on the other guy. And the fact that you could have shotgun shells to be able to kill your opponent's cards. That was the thing that made True Draco True Draco. On top of everything else we're going to talk about still in this video. So, if the deck got more consistent, what does it have going for it? Well, Floodgate.deck. So here's the thing. I read in my comments section, I heard Farfa was talking about, you know, like the differences in True Draco and how the deck should just outright be banned because of floodgates. Well, I don't disagree with you, but floodgates are a necessary evil in our world, so we'll talk about them. The first big floodgate that this deck still has going for it, and this is a general discussion as well on Anti-Spell Fragrance. So first off, Anti-Spell Fragrance is still fucking fantastic. I don't care if Pendulum Magicians are dead or not. If I play against Brandish, I can force you to set your entire hand. If I go first, once again, this is one of those hypothetical situations in which I, the True Draco player, get to go first. If I get to go first, I have the shittiest grin on my face. As long as I don't brick, you know, we should be able to set up an anti-spell and force you to slow down the game. The thing that anti-spell does, actually, even to the extent of Goki, depending on the hand, is if I can take your turn and slow you down, not allow you to rematch, not allow you to use your spell cards to combo extend, then I should be in a good position, right? And that's what anti-spell still kind of gives to Draco. Also gives you a trap card that's continuous that you contribute off, summon a monster. But Masterpiece was able to stand at the apex of the deck, being a very large beat stick. It was very, very crucially important to the strategy of the deck, but you can still floodgate the opponent. And the use of Anti-Spell Fragrance still literally gives this deck the ability just to say, fuck a you to your opponent. Don't discount Anti-Spell as an anti-meta choice, especially in the upcoming format, because forcing the opponent to slow down to your pace is still absolutely crucial in trying to find a strategy to beat the current meta. Next up, you know what else this deck has going for it still? This deck still has fucking Rivalry of the Warlords. Now, everybody knows that maintaining one type of monster on the field is the reason why Rivalry is great. Rivalry and Gozen are your two OG Floodgates. And Draco doesn't give a fuck about what the opponent really does. If I just establish an anti-spell, a Rivalry, on top of maintaining a constant flow of monsters to flow back to the hand, that's the reason why Draco has so much going for it, because I can constantly float with those advantage engines through. And the longer I can force you to play the game at my pace, Rivalry gives me that ability to slow down your deck, not allow your deck to engage with me, and take advantage of the situation through those consistent once per turn engines that float back to my hand. It's almost like a more consistent gadget engine. The only difference is, well, they're tribute monsters, and I have to make it through to my next turn. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is this massive OTK-based game now, and I hear constant complaints about these Floodgates, but Floodgates at least get the game back to your next turn. Sorry, your opponent can't make a board to fucking shit on you. You should be happy that you have these premeditative bad cards that exist in the game to allow you the ability to get through to your next turn, because if every deck had the ability to shit out this awesome turn one board, right? Just fucking game over, honestly. So, thank you. You're doing your job. That's why I love Floodgates. This is my 2 cents. And the last Floodgate you guys have is, you guys know about Monarchs Erupt. Now, I bring this up because some builds are going to steer away from Monarchs Erupt and go more towards having an extra deck, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But Monarchs Erupt still gives you the same bullshit. Being able to play multiple skill drains to paralyze the entire field is great. Unfortunately, now that we've lost Masterpiece, I can't have my trap Masterpiece on the field still disrupting your board. That kind of sucks. I will agree it was a bit unfair having my Masterpiece be on the field, and then I could resolve skill drain and turn that shit off. But Monarchs Erupt is still a fantastic powerhouse at negating Sky Strikers, literally all that other fun shit that they do. It's amazing what just watching somebody be stranded on a desert island of 1,500 beat sticks can do. It's still fantastic for what it does, but the community, I've heard things wanting to go more towards hand traps, which brings up the next dilemma of our great friend, Winter Cherries. So, playing an extra deck with True Draco, had Masterpiece lived, a lot of people were talking about evolving the deck into Ghost Reaper. If I can resolve, kill a Shizuku, kill an ABC Dragon Buster, kill your Firewall Dragon, your combo is forced to stop. Your deck would then be on a desert island. God, it seems to be the theme of this video. You're kind of fucked. I think that's the best way to say it. The inclusion of being able to fit in a couple of different rank or number monsters or random ass strange things that your deck can fucking do in the extra deck on top of every Cherries target you could ever need. That's the great thing about hand traps. And I will not stress enough just the power that these hand traps can grant to True Draco. Outside of being Floodgate deck, you've already got some of the best shit going for you. So don't discount Winter Cherries, Ash Blossom, or the other hand traps as something that you might not want to play. And the last thing that True Draco has going for it, Amato Iwado and Inspector Borders. First off, Amato Iwado was great by not allowing your opponent to activate hand traps on your deck, allowing you to get to your pieces and set up your fuck you to your opponent. And that was great. That was one of the best things that True Draco had going for them. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people going towards, coming off of Mono Iwado, I'm hearing people wanting to play Inspector Border again. A thing that Inspector Border gives to you is your opponent gets one effect if they have a Link monster on the field, and that's literally it. You use it as a 2,000 body to stay through to the next turn. And that's great. It's a Floodgate. You're kind of trading off a monster that stays in the field as opposed to granting your opponent a one passive effect. The deck still has great options between the two of them. You just kind of have to, once again, pick your poison on, if you're going to play True Draco, which one of these two you want to go down. I personally still like Amano Iwado, but Inspector Boy is absolutely a great alternative. I think you pick whichever you want to go. But if you're going to an event, be absolutely prepared for True Draco. You don't have to cite anything for it. Just understand, hey, you know, the deck still has Anti-Spell, Rivalry, Erupt, you know, Dynamite can give you so much more. And if your opponent goes first playing True Draco and the Inspector border you, don't be shocked. You know, the deck still has everything it had going for it, just a little bit more consistently now. You traded off a win con for consistency. Isn't that fucking lovely? God. Somebody's gonna be happy somewhere. We might get one or two weird ass like squeak buys with True Draco, but I don't think we're gonna get anything too fantastic outside of that. Deck's still good, but is good enough really good enough? That's all I got for this video, guys. Tell me if I'm right or wrong down below in my comment section. My opinion is pretty much my opinion. Nobody really cares outside of that. And, well, have a good Saturday, guys. Deucerinos. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.